Hi, this is Chef Janie Pendleton, and I was in the house a minute ago in the kitchen baking something and working on a novel on one of my books, and I noticed that the digital readout temperature in the house said that it was 64 in the greenhouse, but it had 100% humidity, and that means it's raining in the greenhouse. So I wanted to come out and show you that yes, it does rain inside the greenhouse, and I'm going to show that to you now. That my system that I designed, my terrarium, is actually working, and it is literally right now raining inside the greenhouse. This morning this was dry, and you can see it's raining more on this end for some reason. It must be because the door is on the other end, but I don't know if you can see this or not. You can see the little bubbles. Can you see them? And it's dripping down onto my plants, acting like a terrarium, just like I designed it to do. And you can see that it's the sun shining outside, but it is literally raining in my greenhouse. And the flowers are absolutely loving this. I mean, look at this. So it's self-watering at this point. I only have to water twice a week. That seems to be the schedule. And you can see that it's wet. I just planted these the other day. Everything looks really good and healthy. I just planted this. This is all just a week old, and they're already going into bloom. Flowers are absolutely stunning. Now I'm going to come back outside here, and I'm going to shut the door, keep the vent closed. I've got the fan, the tornado fan, and the infrared heater off. We had a warm week. This is Indian summer, so we didn't need it. I've sat my water into the greenhouse, so then that way the water will heat up with the greenhouse, so I don't shock the plants with cold water. So just keep your watering cans filled up. And like you can see, they're painted black. That heats up the water with the sun, and in the daytime, and you can water with that, or you can just keep the water in the jug, and that black jug of water there will release heat slowly at night as it cools back off, and that will help keep your plants warm. Now you can also wrap your greenhouse in bubble wrap, and that will give you some really great insulation if you just have this one tab. Your best greenhouse glass, however, is a 2-ply that's got the air pockets in the middle. It's very expensive, but it's worth it. It really is, if you're going to hand build your greenhouse out of lumber. However, we bought a kit, so bubble wrap works. And get the large bubble wrap. It has larger air holes, and that will keep more heat in. Okay? Look at the blooms coming onto that. And it's just dripping right off those ridges and coming right down onto the flowers. Alright, so we're going to close it back up. Oh, and another tip about greenhouses is we found a nest of ladybugs at the graveyard up the road, and we took the cap off the brown bottle and we released the ladybugs into the greenhouse. Releasing the ladybugs in the greenhouse, I don't know if, I think that might be one there, I don't know if you can see her or not, but they help eat the aphids and the larvae off of the plants during the winter season. And they'll live in here for several weeks. So, so put in about 10, 20, maybe even 30 ladybugs, and they will help keep your greenhouse pest free. Okay, just a little tip. Now I've got that sensor over here, and that goes into the house and tells me the temperature of the greenhouse. It tells me when and when not to turn on the heater and the fan system. And you can see here we have a light, an enclosed light. It's an outdoor light system, and we have plenty of outlets in this greenhouse. Alright, so that's my greenhouse, and I'm really enjoying having it. This is the best investment that I ever built, that I've ever made as a builder. I know I build custom homes, but I really love my little greenhouse. This really gives me something to look forward to this winter. Okay, so I've insulated the greenhouse. Now I've put extra foam around all the openings of the greenhouse, anywhere there was openings. Let's stand back and I'll show you. See, the sun is shining and it looks like one big cloud in here. Now it says that it's 100% humidity in here, and that means it's raining. That's right, it's raining inside the greenhouse. That means this is acting exactly how I designed it to act, as a terrarium and as a self-watering pod. I'm sure you can make little Coke bottle terrariums or little glass jar terrariums with a lid, but this is the same thing. Okay, you got to seal it up right with foam, but this is working. It's absolutely working. To fall. This is my apple, peach, and cherry and plum tree orchard. And here we're going to come into the greenhouse. Woo! Well, it's toasty in here. Let's raise the temperature a bit. It is 59, almost 60 degrees in here. And you can see I put up a new butterfly and a new little sign. And after the frost, you can see my flowers came back out of it and they're starting to put on. I cut all the bloom heads off of everything, so everything would concentrate on putting on some nice color, some nice leaves. And you can see here that everything's really starting to bloom again here. Look at that. Nice and full again. I'm really happy with the results. And these right here are blooming. And I keep water jugs in here. The sun warms these up and then they release the heat at night. When the temperature starts to drop, it releases a little bit of that heat back into the room. Got another little butterfly sitter here. I just got these at the dollar store for $1. Look at that. They look absolutely awesome. These right here are all starting to bloom again. Oops, and just dropped my angel. See? Got a little angel there. Isn't that cute? Thought you'd like that. And then I just come in here and I just kind of pinch off the flower heads and the old ones, and then they just keep blooming. Here's one that's starting to bloom back again. Now these right here got hit really hard, but this one right here is doing really well. I got verbena and geranium. There's different colors here, and I got, look at this geranium. This is a white geranium. It's getting ready to put on another flower head here. And then I've got some roses here that are still alive. These are baby roses. They get little bitty half-inch buds on them. And then again up underneath here is some more geraniums. And then looky here, my petunia is blooming again. So, and here's my little pair of happy little warm cardinals. And they're sitting inside my strawberry plant. And look, that looks nice and lush. It's doing good. Another little hidden hummingbird inside our vine, and you can see the vine comes down and over my picture here. And then I also got a little bumblebee the other day as well. And then this plant here is blooming. Another geranium that's blooming. So I'm happy everything's come out of it. This is a sago palm. Now look at this. Underneath here it's blooming. I just planted that in the other day. I just kind of transplant things and see if I can get them to bloom. Now everything over here took a pretty hard hit in that frost. Let's give that a turn. And I come in here every day. I give everything kind of a turn. Now in here I'm growing some sunflowers, and then I've got jalapeno peppers, bell peppers, cherry tomatoes, and beefsteak tomatoes in here that I've got started in its little thing. And I just keep this little seashell on here so it'll kind of hold the lid down in case the winds are blowing hard or something when I open that door. And then this right here is my ivy geranium, and it took the hardest hit of everything, and you can see it starting to really come out of it now. the temperatures, the heater broke in here, and we had to get this auxiliary heater here. It's a propane heater. You can see here in the back it's got the propane tank. And then over here on this end we have the electric heater. Now this will normally keep up with it. If it's above, 20 degrees, 20, 22 degrees, this heater will keep up in this room. But when it dropped down to below 0, we had to bring in an auxiliary heat. We just, we thought this one right here would upkeep this little room, but I needed to put some bubble wrap or something up on the walls, and we'll do that next year. But look at this, you can't even see out. The snow is sticking to the ceiling. Isn't that just gorgeous? And you can't see out. And then you come to this side, and then of course you can see where the ice and snow is sticking to the glass. And it's so warm and toasty in here. It feels so good. And again, I got more milk jugs here that release the heat. They heat up during the day and just release by night. You can see another one back down in here, another milk jug. And yeah, so I'm getting ready to start some of my summer squashes and things like that. And I'll get some more plants started here. There you go. You'll be a happy little camper there. Okay. And then right here's my vent there, and of course I have lighting. The little switch here is at the door. I can just switch it on and switch it back off again. There you go. And then we have electricity that runs down here, which I don't normally use that one. I use these the most on that end, on the west end. And then I've got another one here. And that's all the electricity that I really need. And then I put in a brick floor because that helps hold the heat during the day when the sun's shining. It absorbs heat and also heat from that heater, and then it will release that heat at night as well, and it will help keep the things a little bit lower where things in the winter are more cold down on the ground. And then this heater of course keeps it warmer on the ground as well. But I hope you like the tour of my greenhouse. My little sun catchers. Okay, and everything looks good in here, so it's all blooming. This was my dad's. This was on his grave. So I'm really happy to see that it's blooming again and making a little comeback there. Alright, so now it's time to head back out again. It looks like everything looks good. I'm going to do a little bit of watering and head back out. This is Janie. Enjoy your day.